guys, welcome back to my channel. I make videos on UX and product design related topics. So in today's video, I kind of want to clear up the confusion between all the terms and roles that get thrown out there when it comes to this UX, UI, design related space. People tend to use acronyms and just assume everyone understands what they're saying because it starts becoming part of their colloquial language. And I think that's what happened in the UX space or in the design world. We've adopted these terms and the acronyms of these terms, and everyone else starting out or looking in is like, what the heck? So maybe we should just start with, what do all these acronyms stand for? UX is short for user experience design. UI, on the other hand, stands for user interface design. So let me try and explain the difference between UX and UI. UI, which stands for user interface, is what you see on screen. So if you open an app or if you launch a website, it's actually what you see of the website. It's the font that they use, it's the colors that they use, the images, the layout, the structure. So you have a big banner image, you have a call to action button that says book now, buy now, something along those lines maybe. You have a page dedicated to About Us, you maybe have a Contact Us page, you have icons, you can have menus, you can have buttons. It's all of those things put together is the UI. UI is very much the craft of designing something for the web. It's pixel perfect. It's also seen as making it pretty, giving it color and life. Obviously, there's more to it than just that. I found a great definition that kind of explains the difference between UI and UX design. While UI design generally deals with the interaction between users and computer system software and applications, so the things that you actually see, the apps that you use, the websites. UX deals more generally with the user's overall experience of a brand, product, or service. So how I like to explain it is that the UX designer normally precedes the UI designer. They come in often when the strategy of the product is being figured out. They're doing a lot of the research to understand the customer base, so that it informs what type of products that you'll be building or what type of features you'll be building in your product, so that it can really serve the customer's needs. They look at how a user would use a feature and where they might get stuck in the journey and how we could maybe change certain things that we do or certain information that we prompt on the screen to help assist the user to have a better experience of the product, of the application, of the website. The output of UX often gets handed over to the UI designer, who then takes their knowledge of visual hierarchy and color knowledge and color theory and blends it together and really makes a product, as I would hate to say, but it's so true, pop. It just really makes a product look beautiful and work well. Let's chat about all the possible outputs or roles or responsibilities UX and UI designers can have, because I think this will also bring a little bit more clarity from where the overlap is and where they actually are different. So UI designers are often responsible for crafting and creating components. They will be in charge of creating and updating and keeping a design system. If there is already a style guide in place, they will digitize it and bring it into that design system. They normally design high fidelity screens that are pixel perfect, colors are correct and on brand. They will also often run the color tests, so to make sure that it passes all the color tests. UI designers will sometimes draw up wireframes. These might be higher fidelity wireframes than UX designers would draw up. UI designers will also look at the narrative of the page, so the structure of the page, which does tie into information architecture, which is something that UX designers do. UI designers also do prototyping, but this will be high fidelity mocks. They also look at interactions and animations, micro animations. What happens if you click on this card? Does it pop? Does it slide? Does it jiggle? They also have to consider responsive design. So on the other hand, UX designers, they do competitor research, they do user interviews, user research. User journey mapping is something that they also do. Information architecture, that's what they UI designers, even I get confused, use to kind of base their narrative or their structure of their page on. UX designers will also often conduct user testing. They also do wireframes. Like I said, it's probably lower fidelity than a UI designer would do. They also do prototyping. Once again, might be lower fidelity, it won't be final designs, it will very much be grayscale to just kind of make sure that the features of the page are coming across and people understand how to use the application. They will also do UX writing, where UI designers can also delve into copy, but I found that UI designers do more marketing copy than they do instructional copy, which is what UX copy is. There definitely is an overlap. And I do think these two roles work really well together and really closely together because their handover is quite close together. I don't think you have to be one or the other. I do a bit of both, but I do think people tend to like to specialize or lean towards one side more than the other, and it can also be project dependent. So right now on my project it calls for a bit more UI focus because we don't have a defined style guide at the moment, so I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to the UI work, and some of my colleagues are just taking the reins and focusing more on the UX. But my previous client and my previous project, they had a very defined style guide. So there was really not much UI work to do. And it was really focusing and honing in on the experience and the journeys and the UX part. I think these two roles work really well together. In bigger companies, they are often separated. And you do have a person specializing only in UX and UI. And in smaller companies, they want one person that does a bit of both. I hope all of these explanations and examples and things I've shared today helped you gain a better understanding of what these terms mean, or maybe it just helped you gain some clarity and to understand which one of these areas you'd actually like to further explore. Subscribe to my channel for more UX and product design related videos. See you in the next one.